And I'm getting stronger.
Getting fit, getting fly, learning skills, invested, learn game, grow spiritually, gain wisdom, leave a legacy. What's going on, man? My name is Caleb C. Harris, and this is my self-entitled YouTube channel, as well as the Getting Stronger on the Strength podcast. All right, and if any of those things I named, aforementioned, interest you at all, then you got in the right place. All right, the right place at the right time. All right, I'm the right person. The reason being is because those are the 7 pillars that I feel like really, lead my life. All right, and I choose to gain knowledge every day. I choose to invest my time in gaining more insight on those topics. And I feel like that I'm able to, because of that, I'm able to, give some of my information on you. They say iron sharp as iron. I'm sure a lot of y'all out there are sharp yourself, but we all sometimes need reiteration. All right, we need consistency in our messaging. And that's what I hope to provide you. All right. Now, getting fit. Now, what is the reason for that? What's the reason why, I'm stressing that? What's the reason why that's at the top of my list on the food chain of things as far as my 7 pillars? Getting fit is the center of everything. All right. As you know, as they say, health is wealth. All right. And if you got a broke body, most of the other things in your life are going to be broken as well. All right. You're poor, you're going to have a poor soul. It's going to lead to poor pockets, poor relationships, and then a poor outcome as far as your success rate on things you endeavor to do in this thing that we call life. All right. But on the contrary, my friend, if you are fit, you are able to attack life with a healthy mind, right, and a healthy body. You're able to have the confidence that comes with having both of those things, and you're able to be on more so the offensive than the defensive side of life. All right. And that starts with being fit. Being fit will help you as far as being fly. All right. Because what? You can be fly as hell. You can have all the dopest clothes, you know what I'm saying? And all the latest moves, the nicest threads, Gucci and gold. But if your body ain't right, if you ain't fit, then you can make $1,000 outfit look like a $1.50 outfit. You understand? And that's not, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants that. You want it like $1 million. You want your $1 million bucks to match the $1 million body. So that's why it's important that you be fit. Now, gaining skills. If you're fit, that sets it up for you to achieve other things, right? Because to be fit, it requires you to be consistent. Just like growing a garden, right? You can't just water a plant one time. It ain't gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? You got to water consistently over a 30 to 90 day period during the right season. You know what I'm saying? You also have to give it other nutrients as far as the sun. You have to put it in the sunlight so that it does receive the sunlight. And if you want to do a cheat code, you throw in some fertilizer and such. You know what I mean? That's the equivalent of protein powder and creatine and all those different things, vitamins that you add to your body, or the steak that you eat, or the vegetables that you choose to eat, the fruit that you choose to eat. That's the same thing. All right. But again, that's going to help you in order to gain other skills, because if you understand that me putting that work in has gotten me fit, you understand that you putting that same type of work in, those same type of hours, that same type of commitment in, will help you gain any skill that it is you want. All right. And when you gain skills, that gets you what? It gets you money. That gets you, it gets you to the point where you're not always a consumer. You can be a producer with your skills. You can get some money. And then what do you do with the money? You don't just spend it, right? Yeah, you spend it sometimes. You spend some of it on the fits, right? Getting fresh. You spend some of it on getting fit, right? But you invest it. Why? Because you don't want to be a slave. You don't want to be a new slave, like Kanye said, right? You want to be financially free at some point. You want to have the abundance of your time. That's the most important resource. Okay? Time and a fit body. All right, because if you don't have any time, you're dead, right? And it doesn't matter. If you're not fit, you're soon to die, so it doesn't matter. All right, so that's why it's important. All right, now learning game. For you to enter the field of what I call game, or relationships or courting, you're gonna need to be fit. All right, because again, you need to present the best you. All right, you need to feel it, and other people need to see it, especially others that you want to call the apple of your eye. Those of you are soft on. They need to see that okay, he has the discipline, or she has the discipline, in order to have the discipline in order to build a relationship with me, in order to be consistent with me, in order to do things in a way in which you give this relationship nutrients, dates or gifts, or words of affirmation, whatever the new thing is. That has to be, that comes from being fit. It all goes back to that. All right. And then we talk about growing spiritually, mind, body, and soul. That's the reason why they always say mind, body, and soul. All right, a fit body is really what your soul desires, is what your soul requires, actually. When you're healthy, that's why you function the best. All right, it's like putting good gas in a car. All right, if your car says it takes premium gas, you put 87 in it, it's not going to run right. All right. Now, by default, your body and your mind, right, is supposed to get the good stuff. Contrary to what you've been told, contrary to what's pushed on you, contrary to what you see, your mind, body, and soul is supposed to get the good stuff. All right, in order for you to grow spiritually. All right, because if you have a polluted mind, if you have a polluted body, you're going to have a polluted spirit. All right, so it's very important that you are on your P's and Q's when it comes to your fitness, so that it trickles down to your spirituality, so you're able to see things more clear. They say the third eye. That's one of the things people talk about, your pineal gland, and how certain things, fluoride and different dyes and different materials found in our food that aren't supposed to be, digestible, aren't supposed to be consumed by human beings, but they are, and they block our pineal gland, which block us from seeing things that aren't supposed to be unseen. We're supposed to see those things, but again, that comes back to spirituality, goes back to being fit. All right, and then lastly, gaining wisdom. That's the seventh pillar, because that's the ultimate. Wisdom is the teacher. Number 7, and numerology, which is one of the things that we will cover here as far as spirituality. That's the teacher. All right. Those last 6 pillars, if you're able to do those things right, then you're able to become wise. And then you're able to teach it. You might not want to teach it to the masses, but if you can teach it to your clan, if you can teach it to your family, if you can teach it to your inner circle, you could be a part of teaching that to your network, then that's a win-win. You're a wise man. And it comes from covering every single one of the pillars before. All right. Now, we talked about fit. Now, being fly. Of course. Again, when you're fly, all right, and I say fly because, again, fly is just my colloquialism that I choose to use, because it's just something that I just choose to use. But it could be fresh, or it could be as little as presentable. All right. Minimalism is presentable. All right, not looking like a slouch, not looking like a drag or a poop pot. All right, putting your best foot forward and being able to walk into a room, and have your clothes fit, have your outfit be something that is, it doesn't have to be what you call it trendy, but it's in style. It could be timeless. I think my style is more so on the timeless side. But I can kind of switch it up. Whatever your style is, there's a million different styles. But again, have a style. All right, because even if you're fit, I imagine that even if you're fit, but you don't have any style, it takes away from it. A lot of times when I'm out and about, or in my life, I've seen, let's say I've been around a lot of athletes my whole life. And athletes, most of the time, are fit, right? But you see some athletes who are fit and they don't know how to dress. Now, athletes are known for having what swag. Yeah, like Jay-Z said, I walk like a ball player. But some guys walk like a, you understand me, like a trumpet player. You know what I'm saying? With a basketball in their hand, with the style of a trumpet player. You know, no offense to those in the band. I hear some of the guys kind of fly too, right? I don't have that experience. But again, I don't know, wrestlers or boxers, a lot of combat sports guys, karate guys, they seem to kind of be, combat sport cats are a little off anyway at the same time. But again, their styles are always off. They always had these great physiques, these beautiful bodies, but just like they style just made them, all right, it's like a meathead. That's the equivalent of a meathead for real. You know what I'm saying? So again, if you fit but you don't have any fresh, any fly, it's not gonna work. All right. And again, why go? Why? Okay, let's move down the line because again, everything is everything with my paradigm, my seven pillars. Why? Why make money? Right? Why gain skills and then not get fly? All right. Why be this person who is fit and has these skills? You know what I'm saying? Then you have these investments because you're getting money, and you're not investing in yourself. You are the biggest investment. I need you to understand that. All right, every pillar is an investment in yourself, but style and fit, fresh and being fresh, or fly, or presentable again is part of it. All right, don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat the game. All right, moving on. You need to be fresh. All right, or fly or presentable again in order for the proper game to work. All right, part of your game, what they say, not it's damn near it's 10% mental. All right, 90% physical or 90% physical. No, 90% mental, 10% physical. Whatever the fuck you want to say, 80-20 rule, whatever you want to put it, you got to have some type of flyness to you. So the flyest you can get, the better. That's all I'm gonna say. The flyer you can get, the better. Okay, so we're gonna talk about that. And then moving on to that spiritually. Now, you being fly and you being spiritual, I don't know if they go hand in hand, but I would just say this. You being neat and put together shows that you have some type of rounding. You know what I'm saying? It's like they say, well, you can't have a dirty home. You know what I'm saying? Or your what they say, your body is supposed to be your, what is it, your temple. Yeah, your body is your temple. All right. What you put on your body, all right, is the temple too. All right. It goes hand in hand with the temple. What you choose to adorn yourself with, you know what I mean? Whether it be some accessories or, proper fitting clothes, that's a part of your temple. That's part of the spiritual journey. You can't be looking like a bum. Even though like Shaolin monks, no, I can't even say that. Because even Shaolin monks are fresh. They might wear their fits and everything like that. Might wear the same thing every day, but it's fresh. And I'm sure they got a couple gowns to change into. All right. Priest. All right. Preachers, for sure, preachers, right? Preachers are always fresh. Preachers look damn near like pimps, right? That's part of the game, the show. You have to look good. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones who don't aren't the more, like the black ones, the more colorful ones. Let's look at the white bland ones. What's my man's name? Joel Osteen or some shit like that. He's fresh for a white. He's pretty fly for a white guy. You understand me? He's not looking like a bum. He's not looking like yesterday's lunch. He's looking pretty fresh. He's looking pretty GQ. He ain't gonna let you in his church if it's storming that motherfucker. You understand me? But at the same time, nonetheless, Joe's fresh. Okay, so that's a part of it. Okay, and then lastly, wise men. Any wise, when I think of old wise man, I think of old wise guy, like the old wise guys who are always fresh. Even when they weren't wearing, either they was wearing what Gucci suits, like even the mild guys, even they was wearing Gucci suits or Hugo Boss suits, or they was wearing Adidas fits. They was fresh regardless. You know what I'm saying? So again, the wise guy, the wisest of the wise guys, all right? When it comes to wisdom, man, it's part of your fly. All right, so moving on down the line, okay? So we said getting fit, getting fly, gaining skills, okay? Now, gaining skills. Let's follow this whole thing, right? Now, the first skill, again, you need to, at some point in your life, have, not say mastered, but have started to some type of an endeavor in trying to, beat the next level at all times is fitness. You can always be getting better. Or you can have reached a level where you have feel like you have plateaued and you're where you want to be, which is fine, but now you got to stay there. You got to keep those same habits up. You got to keep those same workouts up. You got to make sure you're still eating right. You're still taking care of you sleeping right. You're still taking care of your body. You know what I'm saying? Because again, if you fall off, you stop. You fall off. So if you constantly doing that, or you constantly trying to hit some other goal, maybe getting stronger or getting bigger, whatever it is. But again, that needs to be constantly going. All right, that's because again, that's going to prepare you to understand. Okay, I can gain other skills, because most of your other skills won't be strenuous. They're like working out. All right, it'll be a mind thing. Now again, those are two different strengths, two different muscles. But hell, physical exertion beats them. It beats the hell out of mental. That's why people would prefer desk jobs over industrial jobs. You know what I'm saying? And as we move on, that's why every age is less strenuous than the last. Human adaptation. Every age is less stressful than the last one, right? From the agricultural age to the industrial age to the technological age to the digital. You know what I'm saying? Where we go from working shit, putting our hands, getting dirty, picking shit up, having to wake up early as hell in the morning, learning all these subjects in school, to, okay, now I'm at the desk and him sitting here and the computer knows everything and I'm just pressing a button. You know what I'm saying? That's part of it. So, back to gaining skills. The skill of dressing, the skill of being fly, the skill of knowing what works for you. You know what I'm saying? That's really a journey. You know what I'm saying? That's a skill. Because again, everything doesn't fit right, doesn't look right on everybody. Just because it's put in front of you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people shop off the mannequin. I couldn't live that life. I mean, that's so simple of a life. It's kind of crazy. I mean, but it's, again, some people do that. Now, I understand that don't look right on everybody. Not even have it set up. All right, it just doesn't. But they're choosing to take the cheat code rather than understanding what colors go together. You know what I'm saying? What might look better on their frame. You know what I'm saying? What goes better with this? What pair of pants go with this shirt? You know what I'm saying? This hat. How many accessories go? It's a skill, and it's something that you build over time. But again, if you trust yourself, if you trust in building yourself, that's just how you look, your appearance, big time. You trust in building how you look fitness wise, how you look from a fashion style wise, then you can trust that you can build other skills for yourself as well. Which is the next one, which is what? Getting fit, getting fly, investing, right? The skill of investing. Investing is a skill as well. Whether you want to go to the higher levels of trading or, day trading or, whatever, or you're more so in a long term, playing a long term game. That's a skill. On the day trader, that's a whole nother, that's an expert level. So you got to know when to get in and get out of the market. You got to worry about taxes. You got to worry about earnings calls and all type of different things at that level. Here, when you're talking about long term, you got to worry about picking the right companies, picking the right industries, looking into the future and knowing where we're going with this. Do you know where we're going with this? Do you know where we're going with this? If you don't know where we're going with this, you're going to make a bad investment. All right. So again, gaining the skills of investing. All right. Also, whether you want to believe it or not, learning game. All right. If you can learn a skill like fitness, like dressing yourself properly, presentably, all right, you can learn skills like learning skills, whether it be building websites, blogs, social media, plumbing, whatever it is, blue collar skills. You can gain skills. You can trust yourself to, again, gain investing skills. All right, you get all that right. Now you're presentable. You look good. You got your finances right. Now you can learn game. Now you can go date. All right, you can learn the skill of saying hello. when you feel nervous. And if you fit and you fly and you invest right and you got some skills, you got some confidence, you won't feel as nervous when you say hello. Because hello. I mean, Ron Isley made a whole song about it. Just the song, just the word hello. Sometimes all it takes. All right. And HELLO, that 5-letter word comes from the confidence of you building things with those 5 hands. All right. HELLO. Build shit. All right. So you can say hello or hi or different variations of that. Again, that's a skill. The opening to the closing to the courting to the first date, second date, third to the all that is a skill that you build over time. All right, but you don't start unless you don't finish unless you start. You don't begin unless you begin. You understand that? Okay, and then growing spiritually, that's a skill. All right, that's a skill. You understanding to you learning to listen to the inner voice. All right, because I'm not a preacher. I'm far from a preacher. I'm not a saint at all. I'm a sinner, like us all of us with blood running through our veins. But at the same time, you could learn how to be spiritual. You could learn different ideologies or different exercises or different practices within spirituality or within the realm of spirituality, and come up with one that works for you, the one that speaks to you. There's one you. There's one connection to you, and you need to find it. And there's different ways to find it. But it has to be a way. Okay? And lastly, learning all those things will again make you wise. You learn to be wise. Wisdom is acquired taste. All right? It's not one of the things that you just wake up and you got. It takes years to gain it. Okay? Let's move on down. Move on down. So we're getting fit, getting fly. Right? Gaining skills, investing. Okay, gaining skills, investing. Investing again, like I said, investing in yourself is the most important thing. Okay, investing in you, in your fitness. All right, investing in the way you present yourself to the world. Investing in the skills that you have going forward into this new paradigm of the world, where everything is, what they say, leave the world behind. You don't want to be left behind, so you got to build yourself. You got to build new skills up for that. You got to learn the new investing paradigm. The stock market, the bond market, gold. I mean, everything is really changing. Bitcoin, it's big. If you don't understand where we're going, if you don't understand how AI is going to affect us, how like just for example, Tesla. Recently, they're getting ready to do these robots. If you understand how the Tesla stock price will be affected by them being able to do ride sharing with robots and eliminating the people who had to be paid through Uber and Lyft, then you don't understand why you need to invest in a stock like Tesla, possibly. Not financial advice, but that's one of the things. Okay. What am I investing, right? Investing in, again, your clothes, investing in taking care of your nails, investing in taking care and grooming, right? Because again, that's all fresh. All right, that's all fresh. The grooming part, investing in mouthwash, investing in deodorant, investing in some colognes. All right, investing in all those things that are, yes, you want to say superficial, but they're important because while they are superficial, they are also differential. All right, you got to defer yourself. You got to differentiate yourself from the crowd, from the other hunters. Okay, there's way more women than it is men. All right, so it's a smaller group. You got to be able to differentiate yourself. Now, again, if you're a woman listening to this as well, even though it's this, and I guess my crowd, because I am a male, that will be more towards males. If you're a woman listening to this, a lot of this information can apply to you as well. But because there are so many of you, you need to you need to differentiate yourself as well. All right, you don't want to be Becky or Sally or Sue, all right, or any common woman. You want to be something special. All right, man, you want to be something special. You want to be Brad or Steve, Tom or Chris. You want to be you, even if that's your name. All right, Even that's your name, be the special one, not the regular one. Be the special one, right? And then again, investing in yourself this way will make you more wise. Of course, learning game. All right, learning game of getting fit. All right, learning game of getting fresh. All right, learning game of gaining skills. Learning game of investing it. All right, learning game of learning game. That's all game. Learning game of spirituality. Learning the game of gaining all those other pillars so you become a wise man. All right, because again, game. I say game because game not as far as like PlayStation or Nintendo or Atari. Game as far as the game. All right, any industry you go into, there's a game. All right, there's a Monopoly. There's the game of life. There's Yahtzee. All right, there's blackjack. Those are all games, but they're different rules to all those games. All right, getting fit, getting fresh, all right, getting fly, learning skills, investing it. Those are different games, and they all got different rules. All right, so you got to learn that game. Spirituality, you got to learn the game that works for you. You got to break free of the game that don't work for you, the ones that shackle you. You got to break free from it. I mean, nobody but you is going to be able to do that. So you got to learn the game. And if you're here, you're halfway there because this means you're a seeker of knowledge, especially if you listen this far. If you listen to this far, then you're here. That's great. Welcome. You should hit the subscribe. Don't forget. Again, learn that game of wisdom. Learning the wisdom game. All right. Growing spiritually from the top. Getting fit. All right. A lot of times, man, getting fit ties right into spirituality. A lot of people have spiritual breakthroughs once they start working out, and they continue that spiritual uplift through them working out, and they feel like, I'm one of them that I'm not quite able to even, exercise that type of I don't know what you call it, spiritual energy without working out or without being exercising health, because you feel like you're doing something to your spirit. If everything you do or everything you put in your body is unhealthy, or every action that you're doing on a day-to-day basis is one of some type of depravity or some type of negativity, then you're going to be poor in spirit. But if you're eating right, you're taking care of your body, you're accomplishing goals, you're making plans for the future, you're investing right, you're meeting people, then you're gonna feel like your spirit's gonna feel like it's fulfilled, and you're gonna be able to go forward. You won't feel negative. You're gonna feel depressed. Your light won't feel as dim. You know what I mean? That's part of it. That's the game, right? Learning the game, and then with wisdom, yeah. And then lastly, was it spirituality? Yeah, spirituality. Yeah, how you see yourself, spirituality. Yeah, your clothes and stuff. You can't, you know, you can't expect. You know what I'm saying? When you see yourself, or when you understand that a certain level of spirituality, you don't want to be. You want to be as close to an angel as possible. You want to be as close to as new as possible, right? You want to be as close to. You don't have to wear white every day, but you want to be as close to that white garment that the angels used to wear, right? Which symbolize what? Purity. So you want to make sure you fly. You want to make sure you look like, you know what I'm saying? You look like your spirit is together. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not pouring spirit. You know what I'm saying? If you pouring a tire, you pouring spirit. You understand me? So, yeah, spirituality as far as was getting fit, getting fly, gaining skills. Because I have to keep going over it myself. Spirituality and gaining skills, believing in yourself. All right, but a lot of times people don't do things because they don't believe they can do them. One of the new skills I'm trying to pick up is podcasting. Now, if I continue to say I can't do it, or I couldn't believe myself, then you wouldn't be listening to me. You wouldn't be hearing me. You wouldn't be seeing me right now. It's a new skill that I have to conquer. I have to conquer the camera. I have to conquer the audio. I have to conquer the lighting, the setup. I have to conquer. This is something that is relatively new to me as far as putting it out there. But it's a skill that I want to acquire because I think that it's a skill that will help me build in all those other pillars and help me become a wiser man. And I want to share some of the wisdom that I have gotten, and I think that would help. And I think a wise man should share his wisdom, right? And that makes me a wise person for even choosing to have the confidence to share. I mean, so it always plays on itself. Investing, spirituality and investing. Again, sometimes investing is a faith-based thing. It's not guessing. You don't want to guess with your money. You don't want to guess gambling. Guessing with your money is called gambling. But sometimes, it's hard when you work hard for your money. You don't want to, even though you see it as an investment, you see it as something that is going to, have dividends or some type of return in the future, you get scared. Like normal. Anybody gets scared sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to lose. That's the human beings, the fear of losing is more than the greed of gain. The fear of losing is stronger than the one of gain, greed of gain. So, it takes you to have spirituality, to have faith of a mustard seed sometime and see the long term, and for you to believe that you are reading the right materials, or you are going into the right forums, or listen to the right podcasts, or listening to the right news in order to make the proper investments. Okay. Spirituality and learning game, same thing. It's a confidence thing. If your spirit's not right, because we are spiritual people, we are human beings, but we are spiritual beings living a human experience. All right. Our bodies will die one day, but our spirit never dies. Our spirit will, whether it resurrect, I'm not sure whether it resurrects or whether it dwells, it doesn't die. So it's very important that you have a spirit, that one that can resonate with the opposite sex. All right. A lot of times, what they say when women, a lot of times with men too, you can tell people have dead eyes. You know what I'm saying? Their spirit is dead. They either life has kicked their ass, or their last relationship kicked their ass, or the kids, something stressing them out, or a lot of things. You could be dead in the eyes. And for those who, are vibrating at a higher vibration, they'll pick up on that. All right. And if you are, which should be the case, if you are wanting to have a higher relationship, or a more connected relationship, or a strong relationship with somebody, and you don't want it to be one of them one-sided, or one of those where you have to be more of a caretaker. You want to be more of an equilibrium, evenly yoked. It's important for you to have your spirit right, so that you can attract somebody with the same type of spirit, right? Or that you don't turn off somebody with a good spirit. You meet them halfway, okay? And then, of course, wisdom. I think any wise person understands that there's a higher power. Any wise person understands the higher power. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to believe in a certain God or a deity or anything like that, but you have to believe that there's something bigger than you that created you and that leads you on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise, what are you here for? All right? What are you really here for? Now, again, the broader question in general, in life in general, is what are you here for? But it's very empty if you don't think that somebody else or something else has a path for you, and that you have a greater purpose in this life. So it's important that spirituality is one of those things that guides you on your wisdom journey. All right, so that is pretty much it in a nutshell, man. This is the first show, and what I want to do is just really explain to you all, the viewing audience, exactly what it is that I will be covering. All right, because it's more so. This is more so of an educational type of platform. At times it will be entertaining. It's the first show, so I kind of had to break it in, and I got to break myself in. So, pause. So hopefully, you bear with me. You understand? But I want to make sure that I'm able to be more of a advice needed person than entertainment. There's enough entertainment out there. I don't want to totally bore you, but I want you to gather something and take something with you away from each and every one of my shows if I'm able to do that. And if I am doing that, please help me out by subscribing, all right, liking, commenting. I'll respond to as many comments as I can. I'll probably respond definitely because I probably won't have anybody commenting or that many people commenting at first. Right? I'll comment to everything because I want to grow a community. I want there to be, again, I'm not your guru. I am your fellow friend. I'm your buddy. I'm just the person. I'm like the narrator. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like we on the same journey, but I just have a voice because, I have a platform, but I speak for you. And for those, when I'm saying things that you might not understand or at all, then that's great because, again, I was there before. And I think that everything that I touch on is important, it's prevalent. You know what I'm saying? It's relevant to what's happening and what's going to happen. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. If you like the way I'm delivering this, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know what I can change. If you don't like my setup, let me know what I can change as well. All right, podcast listeners, if let me know how the audio sounds. Do I need to get close to the mic? Am I too close to the mic? Am I enunciating my words? I want to make sure that I'm giving you a great experience so that this hits home and it resonates. All right, and I knock it out the park. All right, but again, I'm Caleb C. Harris. All right, this is my self-entitled platform as well as the Getting Stronger on the Strength podcast. If you liked it, again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share this thing. And until next time, it's the first episode. I'm out. I'm off the porch on the Strength. Getting stronger on the Strength.